Hey everybody, Alex Riley from Star News Varsity here alongside Tim Howard. We're going to talk a little bit about conference basketball tournaments, but before we do that, thanks to the South Brunswick boys basketball program and the Wilmington Christian girls basketball program for today's shirts. Don't forget to keep sending that stuff in as part of our fundraiser. Conference tournaments, they will start next week. Not all the fields have been set. The Three Rivers is still pending some play tonight. East Central also with North Brunswick still pending some play over the weekend. But the Mideastern Conference is set. The Mideastern will be Monday through Friday next week at Brunswick Community College. The boys will play Monday and Wednesday. The girls will play Tuesday and Thursday. Championship games on Friday. In the four-county conference, it's going to be at the higher seeds on Monday and Tuesday for different teams. They're kind of splitting it up over a couple different days. And then everything is going to be at Union High School Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Championship games, obviously, on Friday. So instead of talking about random teams, players, stuff like that, and trying to jam everything in, Tim and I have actually decided to go with a couple bold predictions for the conference tournaments that are coming up. And Tim, let's start off with you.
Yeah, my first prediction is that the Wallace-Rose boys are going to win the four-county conference title. Wallace, obviously has a ton of great athletes and a lot of football players that know how to win. Their road is going to be tough. They're probably going to meet Clinton in the semifinals, a team that they've lost to twice. And then if they get to the finals, number one seed Trask might be waiting for them there. So, it's going to be a tough road for them to do it. But I love Steve Robinson. He's won a state title at Wallace-Rose Hill. I think he can really coach. And I just love the athletes and the winners that they have on that team.
Yeah, Wallace actually beat Trask, the conference champion this year. Trask, of course, beat them. They split those games. And then, like you said, they lost to Clinton. Trask split with Clinton. So it's a very interesting league, very interesting dynamic how things have played out. My first prediction, the Hoggard girls are going to get upset at some point in the Mideastern Conference tournament. Now, I know Coach Awe and Coach Hutchinson and those guys over there aren't going to like me for saying that, but I believe that this league has a little more parity than people think it does, and it's really hard to beat someone 3 times in a row, i.e. New Hanover. They've already taken care of them in the Brogdon and both times in the regular season. They've obviously proven, Ashley and Laney have proven they can play with Hoggard. They played with them well. They've beaten them. I think at some point in the tournament that the Hoggard girls will get upset. It might be in the finals. It might be in the semifinals. Don't know. But I think someone is going to come along and beat them.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I'm going to disagree with you on that just because I saw them on Thursday night, the last night against Laney, and they really took it to them. I think Alani Fisher for Hoggard is kind of the X factor. She hit a couple threes last night. She seems like she's getting back healthy. I think if she continues to shoot the ball well, Hoggard will roll through the tournament.
All right, what you got for number 2?
Number 2, you talk about parity with the girls. I don't think there's much parity at all with the boys because I think the New Hanover boys are going to win both games in the semifinals and the finals by 15 points plus. In the semifinals, they'll get Ashley or Laney, who I think that they've proven that they can take care of both of those teams, and then they'll most likely get Hoggard or West Brunswick in the finals. Those two teams have played close games with New Hanover, but I just think that this group right now is really hungry and they really want to prove to people around the state that they're one of the best teams in the state. And I don't know if they'll make the regional this year, but I think they're going to try and really dominate this tournament so that they can get their momentum going for the playoffs.
Yeah, Kirk Angel has that team playing really well. They got a lot of great athletes on that team. They shoot the ball well. They attack the rim. They play defense well. They're just playing at a high level right now. To kind of piggyback off of your first one, I don't think the Trask boys win the four-county. I actually don't even think they make it to the championship game. I think with Clinton and Wallace playing so well, I think even teams as far down that bracket as Pender have the talent to push and make a run. I mean, that's what the tournaments are all about making runs. I think the Trask boys have been tested. They've played very, very well. I just don't know if they have enough left in them to make the championship game.
Yeah, so we both apologize to Rodney.
Sorry, Rodney. I apologize. Number 3?
Number 3, I don't know if this is too much of a bold prediction because she's probably the best female player in our area, but I think Lacey Suggs will score at least 70 points in the four-county tournament. The reason that becomes bold, I think, is because I'm not sure how much she's actually going to play in the first 2 games until they reach the conference championship, just because they are so much more talented than the rest of the teams, besides maybe Clinton in that league, and that's probably who they'll get in the finals. And those have been 2 pretty close games, so I think she's really going to have a big game in that finals to probably reach 70 because I'm not sure if she's going to be how much she's going to have entering that game. So I look for Lacey to have a big game in the championship game against Clinton, and East Bladen will continue their streak of staying unbeaten this year.
It's going to be interesting to see. East Bladen obviously been one of the better girls basketball teams in the state the last couple of years, but when they get to the playoffs, they seem to somehow fall off a little bit. So the question is, will this be a good test for them and get them ready for that postseason? My final prediction, West Brunswick boys will make the MEC final. I guess I have to apologize to Hoggard because I don't think they're going to. I think the West Brunswick boys and the New Hanover boys are a very even matchup and in some respects. I think they both have athletes that run up and down the floor. I don't think West Brunswick is as seasoned as New Hanover is right now. I think that's the biggest edge and what will carry New Hanover to the title. But let me tell you, Eric Davis and that crew down there, they run harder than any team I've seen all year. They're up and down the court, fast-paced. They share the ball well. I think they've got enough in them to make the finals of this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, anybody that enjoys basketball, Wednesday night, if West Brunswick and Hoggard make the semifinals, that game will be very entertaining. They played two really, good competitive games. Well, I know West Brunswick won the first one at a three-pointer on the buzzer. The second game was really good too. So anybody that is interested in watching some good basketball, head down to Brunswick County on Wednesday night. I think that'll be a really good matchup, and it's a toss-up game for me, but I think probably West has the edge in that game.
Sure. Well, that's all we've got for now. Tweet us if you want to disagree or vehemently disagree with our predictions, and we'll see you guys at the conference tournaments next week.